Live from Dunamis Church, this is Today at Dunamis. We're in lockdown again. Will we exit it, or is Queensland doomed? Did we ignore the truth all along? Where is all the toilet paper? This and more on Today at Dunamis. And now let's welcome the host, Shaun ED.
Here we are today to talk life at Dunamis.
Hello, Shaun. Hello. Hello, Survivor. Hello.
We are back.
We're back.
This is the third time, I understand, for the state of Queensland to be in lockdown.
In lockdown, yes.
And it is supposedly for 3 days.
Yes, allegedly.
And we started at 6 p.m. yesterday, our time.
Yes.
And so we're well and truly into the first day.
First day of the lockdown.
I predicted that we'd go into lockdown.
You predicted.
I did. I said to everybody I was talking to, obviously you weren't talking to me, yesterday, that we would go into lockdown.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take much for our Premier, God bless her, to call a lockdown.
Yeah.
I think we had 2 cases or something yesterday.
Yeah, something like
And
that.
I knew we'd be into lockdown.
Yeah. It's that Delta strain. Watch out for it. It'll get you.
It came in. And here we go again. We're back into it. And today there were 4 new cases.
4 new cases.
1 was in a hotel.
Yes.
And 3 were community.
Yes. We have the stats up. If you could put that up there, Kelly. Yeah.
You know what that probably means, Ed, don't you?
What's that mean?
It probably means an extra 3 days to be added
Probably
on.
an extra 3 days and then an extra week.
I know.
And
all those on holidays and everything else.
Yeah.
Friend of mine, a pastor, Pastor Mark Kujua. I can never say his last name.
Kujua.
Pastor Mark and Cindy. Okay. And do you know what name? He is right now or has been the morning breakfast show, one of the morning breakfast shows. What's the word?
What? Radio show?
Hosts, yeah.
Hosts, yeah.
On Vision Radio.
Oh.
And do you know what name he goes by?
A Big Mark.
Smithy.
Smithy. What?
The name he goes Mark Smith. But it's called Smithy.
Does he make weapons or something, like swords?
No, the reason why I asked him, why are you going by this,
like fake name, pseudonym or something?
Pseudonym, is he said it's because when he uses his name, Kujua, which I can't pronounce, Kujua, which is actually Polish.
Oh.
He said he goes up, he went to a golf thing once.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, well, look, I'm Kujua. They go, oh, well, we're looking for a Japanese guy. You know what I mean? So he always gets confused for Japanese as something else. Kajawa.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Nothing against Japan. I'm just saying it's confused. So somebody else must have said to him, well, why don't you just use the Aussie name Smithy or Smith?
Smithy.
So all of a sudden it's that. You know? So Smithy.
That's like my last name, De Young. Everyone pronounces it De Jong. I always get confused to being Asian heritage.
Well, I'm just waiting till you get old and go, are you young?
Yeah, Diode. Hello, I'm
I'm
Diode.
Ed Diode.
Yeah.
My name is Hanson.
Yes.
So in primary school, kids tease you on your last name.
Yeah.
They'd go like, so you think you're handsome, Hanson? And I said, sure.
Yeah.
That's the best you can do. All right then. All right. Sean the prawn. And I said, well, that's deep, bro. That's deep.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
deep, man.
So that's deep. Yeah, okay, I can handle
Yeah.
that. I don't mind crustaceans, so I eat those.
Yeah.
Did you ever get called nicknames?
Yeah. So they take my last name and then make it Deadwood. Hey, Deadwood.
How did I take your last name? It was Ed
Oh,
Dion.
sorry, Edward. They took Edward. Sorry, they took Edward. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. They take Edward and then make it Deadwood. So that was one. And then I used to eat tuna for lunch. They used to call me Tuna Face.
Tuna face?
Yeah.
I don't know about tuna face.
That's public school for you.
I don't know what a tuna face is. What is a tuna face?
No, that's what they'd call me because I used to eat tuna for lunch.
I would have called you tuna breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have got tuna breath. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's Deadwood Tuna Face.
So what about Kelly's on Switch? Hello, Kelly. How are you?
Good morning, everyone.
Did you ever get a nickname when you were in school?
High school, I was called Smiley.
Smiley. Oh. Were they being derogative or just being positive?
Positive.
Because you are a smiley, huh? Very, very smiley. So, which is good. Was that the worst it got?
Yeah, because I had older brothers, so no one really
Okay. Let me guess, there are older brothers?
Older brothers.
Older brothers, yes. Okay. Well, that worked very well to your advantage. You, of course, come from the great Southland, isn't it? The great South.
Across the ditch.
What do you call it? Great
Across the ditch,
white
yes.
cloud.
I don't
What's
know.
the word called again?
Land of the Great White Cloud.
Thank you. I wasn't trying to be derogative to all my New Zealand friends. The land of the great white cloud, or as we Aussies would say, they're
Across the ditch.
across the ditch.
Kiwis.
Kiwis. Yeah, well, whatever. Okay, so it goes across. But it's nice to have you, Kelly, again.
Thank you.
And if you ever lose anything,
Yeah.
Kelly is
here
the
we
one
go.
to get.
Here we go.
Kelly is the one to get. Just saying, Ed, if you ever lose anything,
Yeah.
Kelly is the one to get. Okay?
Gotcha.
Kelly is brilliant.
Are you
And-
going to explain why you're bringing this up?
And
You're
if
just
you ever
saying
want,
it.
if you ever want backup, get Alan as well because you get two, and it's incredible.
Ah, yes.
And if
Inside
all,
joke
and if all
upon
else
inside
fails,
joke.
you get Ed to do the sweep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Inside
And
joke
then,
upon
and
inside
then in the
joke.
end, 7 days later, I find it myself.
Yeah.
But okay, it all works out well. But praise
Yeah.
God. Oh, well, we better get a little bit more
Hey,
serious.
hey, what's happening Sunday, Sean? Like, before we get into all our news, let's just discuss what's happening for Sunday for church, or maybe some scenarios what might happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm not talking about what I'm preaching about.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just talking about the scenarios.
This scenario, yeah.
Well, as of right now,
Yeah.
okay, this 3-day lockdown finishes 6 p.m. Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, which makes it a complete disaster for the kids on their first week of holidays.
Yeah. Sorry, kids.
Kids, yeah. And so what happens is, I was going to say is Mark was flying up to Western Australia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's flying to Mark and Cindy,
Yeah.
and they're flying to Western Australia because to visit their oldest daughter who's at YWAM in Perth.
Yes.
Been up there,
Kristen.
yeah, for 7 months.
Yeah.
It's amazing, you know her name.
Yeah, I used to make fun of her and call her Kirsten. She'd get really annoyed, and then I got everyone at church to call her Kirsten.
Ed. Ed. You're a single man. You need a woman.
Hey, it was like a little running joke with me and her.
And you got to
then-
understand that that's not a way to win friends. You got to be like defending her, standing up for her, being her knight in shining armor.
Hey, maybe I don't want to marry a PK, Sean. Huh?
Well, a preacher's kid. Well, that'll be your loss. Okay, praise God. So anyhow, they were booked to fly to Western Australia, and then
Yes.
when all this came in, they had to forfeit it all. So it comes in. So
Oh, yeah.
so how many states are actually locked down? Do we know?
I think we're at 4 as of right now.
I know the 2 territories.
Yeah,
Well, at least the Northern Territory is partial.
Parts of the Northern Territory.
The ACT, which is Canberra, is
Yep.
locked down.
We got Queensland,
Queensland,
New South Wales,
and
and Western Australia.
Victoria.
I don't think. I think they're just on heavy restrictions still.
Yeah,
I don't really think they're
yeah.
locked down.
And South Australia is on heavy restrictions as well.
yeah, they've
so-
just restricted everyone from
So
coming.
it seems like the only one that isn't is Tasmania.
It's Tasmania.
Yeah.
Good old Tassie.
What do we say?
Uh,
We'll move on. Okay. So that's what's happening there. So
what's happening Sunday, Sean? What's happening
Okay,
Sunday?
so
Scenarios.
if the scenario happens that it is as it is, then services are as normal.
As normal, yeah.
Right, which is our 8 a.m. chapel service, 9:30 a.m. service, which will be live streamed.
Yes.
And then we have our markets at 4 o'clock. There'll be no live streaming of that.
Yeah. The only difference will be is masks will be needed when
That's
upon
right.
entry.
Or you're supposed to have mass all the
Oh
time.
yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're in the car
Yeah.
on your own or with family,
Yes.
and unless you're at home.
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise you wear masks, Ed.
Yes, of course.
Now, I just want you to know that we are all that safe distance apart from each other here.
Yes.
Okay, even though it may look like we're close, we're not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both
so-
physically and also metaphorically.
in fact, Ed is actually in another room, and I'm just watching. No, it's never so. Okay, and if the scenario is it continues, which I have a feeling it may well do, Harry.
Yes.
Harry's watching, so it may well do, Harry, because it doesn't take much because it was 4 today.
Yeah.
Then what happens, we'll be live streaming our Sunday morning service. It'll be one service, which is our 9:30.
Just on 9:30. Yep.
We will still be doing our markets because we're allowed to do produce and food and non-perishables.
Yes.
So we'll still be doing the markets at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
But it'll be just to come in and get the produce and food. There'll be no extended stuff.
Yeah, nothing else. There's not going to be any other people down there. It'll just be fruit, veg, and 50-cent store.
Yeah, all the food basics there, as
Yeah.
far as I understand. So that's what would be happening
Essentials.
if it comes in.
Yeah.
Eggs. And there are really good things. Like I have extra large eggs for
$4.
$2.
Okay, close.
$4. Obviously doesn't buy groceries. Okay. And we have 1 kilo of honey for
$8.
$8.
Hey, I got that one right.
And I'll have premium, say premium,
Premium.
Cavendish.
Wait,
Cavendish.
what's Cavendish?
Just say the word Cavendish.
Cavendish.
Bananas
Bananas.
for
For
$1
$1
a kilo.
Ooh,
Last time I looked, they were $4.50.
that's
So,
cheap as.
yes, very good. And that's also because I'm back.
Yeah.
When I'm away, They're $2.
Yeah, not the not to say anything bad about the last week's fruit vendor, but maybe some things should be left to the
You know, I don't
experts,
like
right?
correcting you,
What?
but it wasn't last week. It was last month.
Sorry, last month.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Then anyhow, last week was the state of origin thing.
Oh yeah.
And what do we have to say about state of origin?
Oh, come on.
Absolutely
Yeah,
nothing, because
nothing.
we're from Queensland. Where's Wayne Bennett? Where's Mal Meninga?
Yeah.
Actually, where's the Queensland players? Is what I want to know. They're not on the field. Okay, I don't know who they are. Praise God. I think they're ex-Kiwis who've changed over and said they're Australians or something. I don't know.
So it's Kelly's fault we lost.
Yes. It's a game to rig us. It's to get us. I don't know. Okay, but praise God.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that's where we're at. So in regards, so let me run through what we can or cannot do. Is that okay?
Yes, let's do it.
I have that there. You don't have it on yours, but I did post this. Okay, it's according to yesterday's report. It says you can leave your home. This is in Queensland for 4 reasons. Okay, essential education and work that cannot be done at home, or to obtain healthcare services, including getting your vaccination. Now, think about that minute, vaccination.
Yeah.
Now, we know what happened in this outbreak we have now here. In New South Wales, it was a car driver for driving plane
packages.
staff back. No, plane staff.
Okay.
They're going to the airport and driving them back.
Yep.
You know, what do you call those people?
A driver?
Airport shuttle.
Airport shuttle, okay. And they're all going crazy saying he should have been masked, he wasn't, vaccinated.
Yeah.
Shame him and say him is what some of the radio hosts are saying.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. And then for us in Queensland, it was a 19-year-old receptionist girl
receptionist.
at the hospital.
Yeah.
I don't know which hospital was it. Was it a
Yeah,
PA
hospital
PA?
somewhere.
PA
Yeah.
hospital?
And she wasn't vaccinated.
She wasn't
Working in
vaccinated.
hospital.
She's 19 and frontline, they said. And she went on a holiday. So she got on board the Virgin Airlines plane. She flew to Townsville.
Yeah.
And from Townsville went to an island that you'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
And that island is called
I don't know.
Magnetic Island.
Magnetic Island.
You're not a Queenslander, are you?
Yeah, I'm born here. I don't get to do it. I don't do anything.
He's never heard of Magnetic Island.
Hey, I was born at
Kelly,
the
you're
Logan
from
Hospital.
New Zealand. Have you heard of Magnetic Island?
Yes, I have.
Ed.
Oh, well, sorry, I don't have a family that likes traveling around a lot. Sorry.
Ed, you're not a child any longer.
Yeah, well,
As
I
Paul
don't.
says, when I was a child, I did what was childish. Now that I'm a man, I put away childish things.
Yeah, well, I don't
you got to
know-
stop blaming
I
mummy.
don't know
and daddy.
anywhere.
I've been everywhere, man. Okay, anyhow. So, okay, so all that things happened there. And so I heard our premier
Yes.
yesterday and everything else go on a rant.
Yeah.
God bless her. And she's going like, I am so angry. I'm so mad at this frontline worker not being vaccinated.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring a couple of points in, okay? Is it the frontline worker's fault or is it the employee, which is the Queensland government? Because isn't the Queensland government's job to make sure their team is vaccinated?
Yeah, specifically Queensland Health and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 2, I didn't know it's mandatory.
Ooh. It's mandatory for some, Sean.
Who?
I think.
So is it mandatory for frontline workers?
Yeah, that's a thing.
So if
That
it
is
is
the thing.
frontline workers, she's not a nurse, she's a receptionist.
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm saying, and she's working at a hospital that gives it.
Yeah.
So what's happening to her authorities? Now, let me put this even clearer.
Yes.
Our premier only just got vaccinated, and so too did the health officer, Jeanette Young,
Yeah.
on the 7th of June.
Yes.
It's only like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. What's going on
But
here?
that's only the first shot. They haven't had their second
The
shot
second
yet.
one. Yeah.
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 So I'm just saying
Yes.
it's a bit of a raw prawn
Yeah.
that the premier is on a rant. Now,
Yes.
do I think health workers and the front line get it? Yes, but it still has to be their choice.
Yes.
If they don't want to do it, they need to relocate them to another area.
Yes.
Okay? But the fact of the matter is that the premier is on a rant. See, she was on a rant today. Do you know what her rant was today?
This morning she was complaining about the federal government.
Not just the federal
ScoMo.
government, but one particular person
Yeah, ScoMo.
who happens to be
The
the
Prime
Liberal
Minister,
rather than
Liberal.
Labor.
Yeah.
Politics comes in. Do not listen to him. Do not get the injection. We still say if you're under 60, it should only be Pfizer. Do not get the AstraZeneca because he said it's open to all now. Do not listen. I mean, when can they put aside the politics and just say, can we work together for the betterment of our nation?
Yeah.
Can we work together, put aside whether you're Labour, National, Liberal, or Lib National, whatever they call it, okay? But can we just get it together for the sake of the nation and be in unity in what we're saying?
Yes. Mind you, it is a bit confusing, Shaun, because you have the health officer of Queensland saying that, we should restrict vaccine consumption based on age, what type you should get. But then ScoMo says the opposite. So it's kind of I feel like the Australian people might be getting a bit confused. So
Look, take me for example.
Yes.
Okay. I was booked in the other week for the AstraZeneca.
Yep.
Okay. And Kelly actually did the booking in for me, right, Kelly?
Yes.
Makes me sound terrible, but she actually did it for me. And she asked, he wants to get Pfizer.
Yeah.
And they said to you,
You can't because you're over the required age.
you're over 50. You're
Yeah.
50 and over, so only under 40, so I'm 58.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll get it done. And it was booked in. I think we did it like the Thursday for the Tuesday or whatever it was, or Wednesday for the Tuesday. So then on that Friday, that medical center rings me up and said, new announcement today by the federal government,
Yeah.
because they just changed the law again today.
Yes.
Okay, the federal government, that we've now decided it's not good for you if you're in your 50s. So now only in the 60s, so we've cancelled your appointment. You need to ring up, get Pfizer. Where'd I get Pfizer from, I asked? Well, the Royal Brisbane Hospital has Pfizer.
Yeah.
Long drive.
Yes.
So contact was made to Royal Brisbane Hospital. And what'd they say?
You have to go online and register.
Yeah.
Before they
There's-
will contact you back.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
They haven't got it.
And
you have to wait.
And then what's even happened
Now today they've
today.
said, okay, last night, yesterday,
Yeah.
the same federal government says, hey, we have so much AstraZeneca, we now say it's okay if you're even under 40 years of age. So last week, you had to be 60 and over.
Yes.
This week, you could be under 40.
Yeah.
I mean, hello.
What's happening?
I mean, as you said, rightly so, is there any wonder why we are confused?
Very confused right now.
We have the state premier with her health officer fighting the prime minister with his health officer.
Yeah.
Then we have the federal government say one rule,
Yep.
I get cancelled. Now they're changing the rule.
Yeah.
I should have just kept the appointment. It would have all panned out.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. You know why?
Why's that?
They cancelled me.
They cancelled you.
So what can we not do? Get on to this area. Essential education and work that cannot be done at home or obtain healthcare services, including getting your vaccination.
Yes.
Care or support of a vulnerable family member. Essential shopping in your local community.
Yes.
Exercising with no more than one person, not from your household in your local community.
Yes.
And just a couple extras. 20 people can attend a funeral. 10 people can attend weddings, but no dancing or singing.
Oh.
There's only 10 people attending a wedding. What difference does it make if you're dancing or singing? You're so far apart.
Do some socially distant square
Goodness
dancing.
gracious me. I got to be honest with you. I try so hard because I want to be a good fellow. Romans 13.
Yes.
Obey the laws of the land. But
Yeah,
sometimes I just get absolutely, drives me bonkers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just drives me bonkers. You know, what's happening.
Yeah,
You know?
we haven't even got into is church essential, Shaun? They haven't talked much about that yet. but-
No. Well, when they have problems in the psych ward and they can't fix it up, they bring up the church.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And ask us to go help.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, you know, it's essential when they need help.
Yeah, when they need help, that's it.
Yeah. So, anyhow, such is. But it's okay. We're
Yeah.
living in a land that's a bit different.
Yes.
And that this makes our light shine brighter.
Yes, God bless him.
Now, let me just say this. I did notice it was in United Kingdom,
Oh, yeah.
and I think also in America, and always someone like CNN, who were criticizing Australia, saying, Australia has lost its credibility
Yeah.
because now it has this outbreak because they're so behind in their vaccination.
Vaccine rates, yeah.
So what's our vaccination percentage here?
Oh, it was...
It's not even 10%, is it?
Man, it's 4.8% of the population has been vaccinated. So out of the 26 million, I think we are,
Yep.
only 1.2 million have been fully vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated. And what about the United Kingdom? And United Kingdom is around
So United
50%?
Kingdom is 49%.
We can just say 50%,
Yeah,
right?
50%.
And because they're a nation of 60 million people.
Yeah.
And what about the United States?
United States is at. Oh, I do not have the United States vaccination rate, but I do have it in a sec. I do have it somewhere close to me.
Then there's a reason why there's a reason why I'm sharing this is because these other nations, and God bless those nations and their news media outlets, are just bagging Australia like we've dropped it, we've lost credibility, they've lost respect for us because we haven't got as many vaccinations. But what I'd like to do, because they love statistics, I'd like to share some statistics.
Yes.
Okay, so the statistics go like this. Okay, on the 28th of June, 2 days ago, Australia had 29 new cases.
Yes.
Okay, 29 new cases. And then yesterday, we had across our whole nation 34 new cases.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to give you an example. All right, now the United States, okay, 2 days ago on the 29th, compared to our 34 cases, they had 9,165 new cases and 250 new deaths.
Deaths, yeah.
Okay, and then 2 days ago on the 28th, they had 11,981 new cases and 164 new deaths.
Yeah.
They are lecturing us?
Yeah.
Seriously?
What the heck?
So let's go to the land of Boris.
Yes.
Okay, so the United Kingdom lecturing us, saying you haven't got it? Well, let me just say this. Going back to the 28th, a couple of days ago,
Yep.
they had 22,782 new cases and 3 new deaths. And just go back to yesterday, the United Kingdom had 20,479 new cases and 23 new deaths.
Yep.
They're lecturing us?
Telling us.
They're saying that we have lost it? You know what I mean? Are you serious?
What are these guys on? What's happening?
Well, I mean, I call it egomania.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so United States is like, I see there, Harry put up 47% is done.
Yeah.
Okay. United Kingdom is 50%. And they got hundreds, not single, hundreds of deaths each
Hundreds
day.
of death, yeah.
We haven't got any deaths.
Yeah.
The last time we had a death was what, back in May?
Yeah. Ages ago.
And
yeah.
we only have, what percentage is done? 4.8%.
5%. And yet
And we're being lectured.
we're getting lectured.
I mean, look, I mean, seriously. I mean,
Hey,
hello.
how about you guys focus on your own country instead of looking at us? At least our people
yours.
aren't dying. Hey? Huh?
well, in India, okay,
Yes.
on the 28th, they're not lecturing us, so let's be kind.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 days ago, they had 37,037 new cases and 907 deaths. And then yesterday, they had 45,699 new cases and 816 new deaths.
Yes.
I mean, come on. I mean, like, you know, what? Australia's missed it now? We've lost it? Now, okay, New Zealand, the land of the
Sheep.
White cloud.
long white cloud, okay? As far as I know, I haven't got anything happening over there right now, okay? So it's good. That's because they've shut us all out
Yeah.
again.
Again.
I would not book a ticket to New Zealand,
Yeah.
Kelly,
No, me either.
because I tell you what, you just... There's just no chance I don't know if you're going to get in there. I tell you what, it's a, you know, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it's pretty difficult to get in. But anyhow,
Yeah.
I'm just telling you about these other countries throwing the stick at us. And I don't mean any disrespect. Other than New Zealand, okay, I don't think of anywhere else I'd like to live. Except Tasmania. Is that another country, Tasmania? No,
Yeah.
that's what I said. But I mean, the fact of the matter, sorry, Tasmanians. Okay. But the fact of the matter is that I don't understand why other countries
Yeah.
would have the gall
Yeah.
to make an accusation or attack on our credibility.
Yeah. What's their problem? Hey, why don't you pick out the log in your own eye before you start talking about ours?
We got the eagle, we got the lion against the kangaroo.
kangaroo. And you know what? I think our boxing kangaroos.
No, I think we'll just hop right over them.
Oh, yeah.
let's not get into fights. Let's just
Okay.
hop over them.
All right, hop
okay,
over 'em.
we'll just hop over them. All right, but I mean, like, I just find it a bit of a raw prawn. Can I say raw prawn?
Yeah, second
I
time
find
so
it a
far.
raw prawn that they would use that statement to say what they're doing. On the other news I saw there, what a tragedy in Florida.
Yes.
I have a couple of images there, Ed, of that apartment complex.
Yes.
And that picture you see right now, that's not the apartment that fell down, but that rubble on the right-hand side was an apartment which was the same height or higher. It collapsed. If you turn to the other picture, thank the Lord for all of the rescue workers.
yeah.
I mean, they really do. I mean, they're champions, aren't they?
Yes.
I don't understand why, over here we have the Queen's Honours and everything else. I reckon it should be a rule
Yeah.
that if you are a politician,
Yes.
if you are in business, a business person being paid,
Yep.
okay, if you are a sports person, a singer, something else, or movie star, you shouldn't get one of the awards. They should be reserved for champions. Could you put that picture back again? And I know that this is the United States, but we have the same champions. And these are the people
Yeah.
that should be honored.
Yes.
And don't tell me every year they can't find such people. Because these are the people who do it, not politicians,
Yeah, exactly.
not CEOs of companies,
Yeah.
not singers, not musicians, not athletes. Seriously. You know what
Influences.
I mean? If the athletes want to get it, they get the gold medal.
Yeah.
Okay? That's enough. You know what I mean? The musician gets it, they get the area awards or whatever awards they get.
Yeah.
Okay? If an actor gets it, they go get
Oscars.
or
whatever.
whoever his name is. Okay? But these are the champions, bro.
Yeah.
These are the champions.
That's
you know,
it.
it could be the lady who takes in 7, what do you call it? They don't adopt the children, foster parenting.
Fosters, yeah.
You know? These are people, the foster parents. These are the people, health workers.
Yes.
These are the people, these firefighters. And figure that police officer who died through the recklessness of that woman who's driving, didn't stop. And these are the people who, and I just want to see this image. It just reminds me of a champion, but this is the image. And the reason why it's taken so long, Ed, is my understanding is there's like 150, 160 people missing.
Missing, yeah.
They've only found like 9 or 11 bodies.
Yeah.
So
The collapse is crazy.
and there was warnings.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that picture, Ed. That's half the building went down.
Just-
I saw an interview today
Yeah.
of a guy who ran out to the stairway and found his apartment next door was complete. Just the door was gone, open gap. Looked out there.
Whoa.
He was on the other side, so he survived.
Oh, man.
I mean, look at that top right hand. That's like a kid's bed. Do you see
Yeah,
it
kid's
there?
bed with a computer chair.
I mean, it just breaks your heart, and I
Devastating.
see that. You know what I mean? It's just a tragedy. I mean,
Yeah.
I see things like that and it just breaks your heart about how fragile we are.
Yeah.
And again, this is never a political thing. I saw a thing there where the swimming pool the guy who does the pool, he's down in the basement.
Yeah.
And he sent a message up saying, dude, there's serious problems here. There's cracks everywhere in the building and everything done. I think it was going to cost so many $1 million to fix it.
Yeah.
And all the procrastination. What should have happened there is government should have been in there and closed that place down.
Yeah, intervened, yeah.
I mean, they did that in, I think it was at Sydney or Melbourne. They closed it down with concerns it was sinking. They should have closed that down.
Close it down, yeah.
I mean, it's just something wrong.
Yeah, this could have been avoided. Yeah, and yet it happened.
I know. I mean, like I see those things seriously, Ed, and I really do get concerned about what happens in those areas. But it comes in. I saw another article that was interesting
Yes.
about the dinosaurs again.
Yes, hang on. Almost got it. Yep.
Okay. This is the headline. Scientists propose wild new theory for what originally killed the dinosaurs.
Maybe
The asteroid is only the fatal coup de grace. New
Oh.
research. So basically what this story was about
Yes.
is that, I'm not going to say the accepted view,
The evolutionist view.
the evolutionary view, which seems to be thrown out everywhere. 150 million, 200 million, 600 million.
Billion years old.
Yeah. And is now come out that it was not a single or two asteroids
Yeah.
that hit the Earth that destroyed them.
Yeah.
But I read the article that says rather they've come up with what happened. There was an asteroid that hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have this, I don't know what kind of dinosaur that is there, Tyrannosaurus Rex, okay?
Yeah, T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, it did hit, and yes, the T-Rex died.
Yes.
But all the herbivores had already died.
Herbivores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eats plants.
Yeah, yeah.
Carnivores, herbivores.
Yes.
And that already died.
Yes.
And I was interested here. And as a result of already dying, the Tyrannosaurus Rexes were dying because there's no food.
Yeah.
And so the fatal coup de grace was when the asteroid hit, it just saved them for dying painfully. And so it hit and killed them.
Oh.
I mean, this is the place of fairy tales, I tell you. So how did it come up? What was it that came? They said it was an environmental tragedy.
Oh, maybe a flood?
Maybe a flood would be environmental. There was an environmental tragedy that happened over a period of time.
Yeah.
The rain took
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay. A period of time that saw these herbivores die.
Yeah.
But the Tyrannosaurus Rexes lived. Maybe they had blow-up mattresses. I don't know. Okay. And what happened is the asteroid was a fatal coup de grace, okay, that saved them.
Yes.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid in
Yes.
high school, and then when I was teaching, we were taught about the missing link.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had the Neanderthal man.
Ah, yes.
We had the Peking man.
Yes.
We had the Pit Down man. We had the Java man. Have you heard of those guys?
No,
I still
no.
got the scrolls, right? But what happened? These are skeletons.
Ah,
well,
yes,
I was
yeah.
led to believe there were skeletons that were found.
Yeah.
But they weren't skeletons, Ed. Now, the Neanderthal man, which is supposed to be the closest link to us, which is found in a cave in France,
Yeah.
was later discovered to be a Frenchman who died from arthritis, so his joints were
Oh.
weak. Did they take it down? No.
Nope.
Okay. The Java man,
Yes.
the Java man was a scientist, found this jawbone in Indonesia.
Yes.
He later admitted it was a jawbone of an orangutan which he'd filed down.
Oh, my goodness.
The Pit Down man,
Yes.
this is my days ago, the whole skeleton was formed from a single tooth.
What?
A tooth.
Oh, my goodness.
And it ended up being later on found the tooth of an extinct pig. Now, the Peking man,
Yes.
it just got lost during the war. I don't know what. It just disappeared. It got
Yeah,
lost.
yeah.
Okay, as it does.
Yes.
It's never one of those Chinese conspiracy things. It just disappeared. Lost.
Okay. Yeah, lost.
Disappeared.
Disappeared.
But the fact of the matter is that you never hear in school today they do the chart showing all these guys.
Yeah.
And it's like they're coming up with all these things all the time. I heard the other week they said they have found a skeleton, I think it was in Israel,
Yes.
which is now a closer link from the Neanderthal man to the mankind human. So
Oh,
they just
another one.
come up with all these areas and how they do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's just deplorable. I mean, honestly, it's deplorable
Yes.
how they do it. I mean, even how they work out the age of a bone that's all been fossilized.
Yes.
Say data carbon. Well, you can't data carbon date a bone.
Oh, yeah, carbon dating.
Okay,
yeah.
because it's earth, it's sediments. They try to work it down. Like
Yes.
they send a spike down and measure up how many things in an area.
Yes.
But they just figure out, well, if a bone is at this depth for this certain level of soil, that's how old it is.
Yeah.
But if there's a flood,
Yeah.
it's all turned over, messed up, and done.
Yeah, how can you carbon date something like that?
Well, you can't, and they're not carbon dating bones anyhow.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't do that; it's impossible. But the fact of the matter is that what gets me is that all these things keep changing,
Yeah. They keep changing
but
the narrative.
nobody cries out saying, "Are you serious?"
Yeah. Well, there is one person.
Bring back the Neanderthal man, I say. Bring back Java man. I mean, come on. I mean, like, how many times do we have to deal with this sort of stuff saying it's science? Well, what's the definition of science? Can you tell me what the definition of science is?
Definition of science is something like
I want you right now,
look it
Google
up.
the word science.
Okay.
And I want you to read out the definition of science. Now, remember this, that when it comes to evolution, they say that they are science,
Yes.
right? And we creationists are not science. So what I do is I go back and say, well, let's define the word science.
Yes.
Okay, so have you Googled it?
Yes.
This is not a church thing. This is
Yeah.
Google, right? Is
So-
it Wikipedia? Who is it?
This is from sciencecouncil.org.
Sciencecancel.org. Are they in any way Christian?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, so would you please? Now, I'm not I haven't preset this up here. Would you please define the word science?
Science is the pursuit and application of knowledge and understanding of the natural and social world following a systematic method based on evidence.
Okay. Now, I want you to go to the Webster's Dictionary.
Webster's Dictionary, yep.
And based on evidence and things done there.
Kelly, take the shot off me.
Okay. Why, Ed?
Because it's just a
You're-
shot of me on
You're
my
clean
iPad.
shaved. Okay.
I don't want to see that.
Look like a turtle.
Hey.
Turtle. Okay. I want you to find it.
Okay.
Webster's Dictionary rather than
America's most trusted place.
Okay. And what does it say is the definition of the word
I'll
science?
look it up. Science. All right. Science. Definition of the word science. It's a noun. The state of knowing, knowledge as distinguished from ignorance or misunderstanding.
Right. So the fact of the matter is ignorance means lack of knowledge.
Yes.
Okay. So I asked evolutionists,
Yes.
how do they fit in the category of science? Because ultimately science has got to be witnessed, seen,
Yeah.
okay,
Evidence.
Yeah.
evidence. And the fact is no one has witnessed it. There is no evidence of their statement.
Yes.
It is an assumption because of the level of soul they find.
Yes.
Now, I'm not denying just dinosaurs existed.
Yeah, me either.
Okay. There is no denial at all about dinosaurs. In fact,
The Bible mentions
the Bible
it.
gives references.
I actually got that scripture, one of the references. You want me to read it out?
Yes, please.
So Job 40, 15 to 18. This is reading from the Amplified. Behold now, Behemoth, which I created as well as you. He eats grass like an ox. See now his strength is in his irons and his
Loins?
Loins, sorry. Oh my goodness. And
Are you reading King James, buddy?
nah, I'm reading Amplified.
Amplified.
Loins and his power
That's
is
a paraphrase translation.
that's a power.
Okay. So why don't you read a little bit more accurate? So can you flick that over
Oh.
to maybe the New American Standard Bible?
All
Okay.
right, all right.
So you're always going to go area. So loins is Loins. Okay.
Hey, I went to school. I can read English well-ish.
Yes, that's okay. That's okay.
Maybe, perhaps.
Go ahead, brother loins.
Okay, hang on. We'll get a good translation in there.
Just
for
get
you,
the
Sean.
New American.
Yeah, I'm getting the New American for you. Okay, behold Behemoth, which I made as well as you. He eats grass like an ox. Behold his strength in his waist, and his power in the muscles of his belly. He hangs his tail like a here we go, cedar. Cheddar?
Cedar.
Cedar.
CEDAR?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tree. Cedar tree.
Ah, cedar tree. Yeah.
Okay, I'll help you.
The tendons of his thighs are knit together. His bones are tubes of bronze. His limbs are like bars of iron.
All right, yeah. And there's got a few references. There's even references to sea creatures as well.
Yes.
Okay. And the fact of the matter is the Bible gives reference. Now,
Yes.
have you ever heard of a chronological Bible?
No.
Okay. So you have...
Yes, I've got one.
Oh.
Okay. So could you please tell Ed what is significant about a chronological Bible?
It's an order, dated order.
So it's in the age of which the book was written.
Ah.
So in the chronological Bible,
Yes.
what do you think comes first?
Would it be Genesis?
Kelly?
No, that's
No, it's not. Okay. You
What?
actually find the Psalms and all that will come first. A
Wait.
Psalm.
What? Why would the Psalms come first?
Well, because it goes back into who wrote and when and everything else. Okay. So an actual...
You're talking about when it was authored.
So the first
I get
the
you
oldest book in the Bible supposedly
Yeah.
is the book of Job.
Ah.
The oldest book.
Okay.
Okay. So the oldest book in the Bible is the book of Job,
Yes.
supposedly. Okay. And the fact of the matter is that what I'm trying to say is that from the very beginning,
Yes.
okay, of its age, it's talking about these other beings or things that existed.
Behemoths. Beasts.
Behemoths.
Yeah.
Which would make it then probably before the flood
Before-
or whatever
yeah.
else, because before Noah. Okay. And so I've never denied dinosaurs existing.
Yeah, me either.
You know why? I've seen the bones.
Yeah. And the fossils.
That's evidence.
Yes. Exactly. Observational science, as Ken Ham would say.
That's right. So
Yeah.
science is what you can observe as
Yes.
happening or doing. So the fact is I've seen it.
Yeah.
That's how I know it's true.
Yes.
But this carbon dating and the other stuff and billions of years, that's the problem. That's an
Yes.
issue. Yeah, and it's a very real issue that's coming about, and which people continue to do. So, anyhow, I just shake my head sometimes at some of the things that people come up with and what they say.
Yeah.
It's really quite unique.
Yes, very peculiar.
So, what is your favorite dinosaur?
I like the dinosaur that I like Stegosauruses. The huge necks.
Stegosaurus?
Yeah, Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
Can you say it for me? Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus. Yeah, I'll say it your way.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
He's got that big shielded thing and the big horns.
No, it's got
on
the
it.
big neck.
And,
Are
no,
you-
that's a Brontosaurus.
No, what?
Yes, a Stegosaurus has the two
No,
horns.
Kelly, get a Stegosaurus up right now. Open up a new tab on Firefox. Get
You're
it.
confused, son.
No,
That's a
you're
Brontosaurus.
confused. No,
Okay.
I know what a Stegosaurus is because it's a funny thing.
The Stegosaurus has the horns.
No, you're thinking of the Triceratops.
Okay, let's have a look.
Wait,
Can
no, wait,
you-
am I wrong? Am I wrong?
It's got
No.
the spiny things on the back.
No.
Of the bones. Yeah.
Okay, we're both wrong.
Well, I'm closer than you are.
Fine.
Okay, I said horns to the thing in the back. It's not a Brontosaurus.
Fine.
So why don't you ask me what my favorite one is?
So, Sean, what's your favorite dinosaur? If you had to pick one.
It's a great question. Okay. Well, I mean, the Tyrannosaurus Rex is
Yes.
very intimidating
Yes.
in the area, but they got other types.
Hey,
of
take
those
the
things.
shot off me, Kelly.
And there's also what else? I do like those little funny raptor ones,
Ah, yes.
but I don't know anything about them, so I don't even know if they really make the sound they say or they look the way they look or whatever else. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I do like the flying ones.
Ah, yes, the pterodactyls.
The pterodactyls, yeah, so they're quite unique. Only because I like to play with my grandson with the dinosaur.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't know how they sound.
I know, but people make up their mind. So, which is great. Yeah. So, anyhow, such is,
Yes.
so that's what happens. So, let me just for a moment share, okay, while I'm on straight line here rather than you, okay, let me just share
Yes.
what I'm going to do on Sunday.
Yes.
So, on Sunday morning, because normally we share
Like we do like a little recap.
but this Sunday, I'm continuing on the series on Forgotten Lives.
Yes.
And I'm going to share on Abigail.
Yes.
Now I know we've all heard of Abigail, okay, but I always find there's something new in the area, and I was just going over the message for Sunday. And I was just touching base again, just to think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I like to do, Ed, is I like to look at the names.
Yes. The
But
meanings.
sometimes, like Abigail's name means. Do you know what it means? I'm not expecting you to know. I'm just.
from her mother or something.
This is my father is joy.
Oh. my
okay.
father is
So,
joy.
and obviously it must mean like when Dad saw her, says the joy, the heart, and Abigail is an outstanding woman.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And when I said she married Nabal, I don't think she had any choice because the women regrettably were like property and traded off. So could be, I don't know the story, could be that her sort of family was poor and she was traded off. I don't know what, but I know that Nabal was not a good man because the very word Nabal, do you remember what the word Nabal means in Hebrew?
Not knowing.
It means fool.
Oh, fool.
Okay.
Oh.
So it means fool, and could you imagine, your daughter who you've called the father's joy.
Father's joy. Yeah.
I'm giving you to marry a fool.
Fool.
I mean, I
interesting.
have to look back at some sort of Jewish history to find out there's much information on that background. Because sometimes when you I found out when I chase up the Jewish history, the Jewish backgrounds, I find so much more information on certain people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when I think of that area, I think of Abigail and how she was married. And, I find it hard to believe it was a happy marriage because he was a drunk, we know that. He was very vain.
Yeah.
He was very arrogant.
Yes.
Okay. And we know that he was in a particular area, Carmel, okay, that where they had their sheep, it was subject to those who would raid and steal.
Yep.
And this was a time when David and his 600 men were in exile, hiding, getting away from Saul.
Yes.
And so what would happen, seemingly as was the custom, they gave protection to the shepherds and the sheep so that there would be no raiders. And then when it came to when they would harvest or bring in the crops or take the fleece or shear the sheep,
Yes.
and there'd be the celebration, then what would happen was David, his men would come along and say, okay, we've looked after your sheep and protected them, now give us a payment. Now,
Yeah.
nothing in the Bible says there was a pre-arrangement there.
Okay.
It just happened.
Just happened, yeah.
And so they said, take care of us. And then Nabal knew there was conflict between David and Saul and said, well, whose servant are you? And, in other words, take a hike, Jack. I'm not going to do it. Well, he's a fool, so he's going to say what he does.
Yeah.
And then David, who is the people's champion,
Yes.
got into a rant and rage. And it's like, well, I'm going to show you who's fool's fool. We're going to come over and chop off your heads or do whatever else. So
yeah.
Abigail gets caught in the middle of all this.
Yes.
She comes out in all humility.
Yes.
And she petitions David and his youthful, rash behavior. Like, how would this look on your resume? God's called you to be a king.
Yeah.
And you're going out here to butcher people. It's not going to look good for you in the long term. And so she calms him down and brings him some food.
Yes.
And then she waits the next day to when her husband's recovered from his drunken carrying on. And then basically says to him, you don't know how lucky you are. You almost died last night. And then maybe, she didn't say this, but maybe it was just him would be okay, but it would have been the household. And who knows what happened.
Yeah.
Then he has a heart attack and dies.
What?
And then David sends messages, okay, I'll marry you.
Oh.
And so she marries him. Again, it's representation of how a woman doesn't have much rights in those days.
Yeah.
Because she never got to own the property.
Yes.
It would belong to his children,
Yeah.
And then next minute, David's in there marrying her. And, it was David's second wife, but should be one of several wives. And it goes on. So, the woman like Abigail really, had a lot of things happening. And I was thinking about Abigail. And I think, like, well, what can I learn from Abigail?
Yes.
And I just put down a couple of things I think I can learn. One is listen to your partner whom God has given you.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes, communication.
And I say that not only that Nabal should listen to his wife, but also I believe David should have listened to his wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even in their marriage, which I guarantee you he hadn't. The second thing I see of Abigail is this. Wise partners or wise mates make the best use of timing and tact. And I thank God for my wife and for her wisdom and for her timing and her tact. She's so good. She knows when to say things to me, maybe when to hold back, when to come in the area, which is a great wisdom.
Yes.
Do you find that too, Kelly? The wisdom of when to speak, when not to speak? And sometimes it's when my wife doesn't speak that she speaks the most powerful.
Yes. Yes, I read that in Love and Respect. It was around the end where it talks about how sometimes the silence from a woman is more convicting to a man than her actually speaking to him.
Yeah, because, men are weird. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we are so weird.
Okay, yeah.
We're from dirt. Have grace from us, ladies.
That's
we are
right.
From dirt.
Remember, we're from dirt. That's why we associate with the mud and the mess.
Yeah.
That we're made from dirt.
We're made from dirt.
And the lady was made for something far more precious.
Yes.
Man.
Refined.
But the fact of the matter is that, and I look at that area and I think the wisdom that is there.
Yeah.
Men can't handle nagging.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, Proverbs says, it's like a dripping tap.
Like a dripping tap. Better to be with a mother bear robbed of her cubs.
Okay. Don't poke the bear.
Yeah.
And, I'm blessed because I have
Yes.
a wife that knows how to communicate,
Yes.
communicates well. And trust me, I know when she's not happy.
Oh, yeah?
She doesn't have to talk. I can tell.
Oh.
Yeah, I can tell. Okay. The air changes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Get that. Is it like that in your house too, Kelly?
Yes.
Your air or his air?
Both.
But okay, yeah. I'm sure she'd say the same thing too, Kelly. Comes in here there. Now, Nabal,
Yes.
name being fool. What
Fool.
when I get to heaven,
Yes?
which is only temporary because we're coming back here, right?
Yeah.
But if I could ask questions,
Yes?
one question I want to ask is, was Nabal called Nabal fool before he was a fool or at birth?
True, yeah, because a lot of people do change their
Well, I mean,
names.
how applicable is it that he's fool? I mean, did he get born And the mum said, "Boy, this is one foolish kid."
Yeah,
I mean,
fool.
how do you do that?
I don't know.
I mean, how do they know to call him fool?
Yeah.
I mean, David's name means beloved.
Yes.
So I could see the mother saying beloved.
Yes.
All right. Although David, we can understand from, I think it's Psalm 52, that David might well have been illegitimate.
Oh. Ooh. Could we say the word? Excuse our French. He could
No,
be
we're not going to go down
we're
the
not
old
say
King James. No.
Okay, we're not going to say. Okay.
No, you just heard me say that once. You just want to keep doing it. No, we're not going down the old King James.
Okay,
But
we won't
he's
use it.
illegitimate. And that's
Yeah.
what he said. I think it's in Psalm 52. I think it's around there where he says, "I was conceived in sin."
Yeah.
And that's why we believe that David's father, Jesse,
Yes.
didn't call him in with his other 8 brothers
Ah.
because he's illegitimate. Because another character in the Bible, in the book of Judges, was Jephthah. Jephthah was illegitimate,
Jephthah,
meaning
yeah.
that the father had an affair
Yes.
and the child had some rights but not included in.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is, was Nabal called a fool before or after?
I reckon before.
How would you know that? I mean, I know Jabaz means pain.
Yes.
Okay, so caused great pain, and he said to God, I want to be honorable, more honorable than my brothers. You
Yes.
know, help me in this area. And God came through. Only a couple of verses, but it talked about how God blessed Jabaz.
Yes.
In Chronicles, First Chronicles, when he said his name meant pain.
Yeah,
you know, Ichabod.
Ichabod, great name.
Yeah, which is I think it was Hophni, son, or Phineas, one of those 2 sons of Eli's,
Yes.
where they died, and it was the wife who, in her final seconds, when she gave birth, and she was dying as she gave birth, and the midwife said, "Name your son," and she said Ichabod. They said, "No, don't call him that. Call Ichabod," which means the glory has departed
Oh.
because the ark was captured and
Yeah,
all was gone. So, I mean, so I see names that are mentioned.
Yeah.
Samuel, which is heard of by
Heard
God.
of by
so
God, yeah.
I see that where Hannah could say, "God heard me."
Yes.
But then I asked about Saul. Because the name of Saul means
Cold. Asked
Asked for.
Asked
okay.
for.
So was he called Saul when he was king? Did he have another name? Like, you know, in the royal family, they have the name, and then when they become king, they change their name.
Yes.
Like Edward changed his name to Charles. Charles, I think that's Charles, yeah.
He changed his name from Edward. Oh, it's a great name.
So they didn't have it. Yeah, well, they changed their names. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then Elizabeth didn't change her name. She said, "I'll go by Elizabeth." Okay, so that's what happened there. So I was wondering with Saul, because Saul's name means asked for, and we know that we see that in 1 Samuel 8, the people of Israel asked for a king.
Yeah.
So again, I'm asking, was the name changed later because of things, or was it prophetically given?
Maybe. As soon as he got married to Abigail, he changed his name to Fool.
Well, for example, the name Jacob.
Jacob, yes.
Okay, Jacob. Okay,
Yes.
Jacob. Okay, so his name means what?
God? No.
No, it
No.
doesn't mean God.
No,
it means a heel, or on the tripping of the heel, grabbing the heel.
Yeah.
And he got that name because he was a twin,
Yeah.
and Esau was born first, and he was grabbing onto the heel.
Yes.
But then we see prophetically how it was that he was a conspirer and trickster, and how he went about. So I can see that. So I just look at names and wonder, was it given before Anna? Before or after?
Yes.
So like Saul, you know, how providential would it have been if that name was given, okay, before the people asked for a king? So it goes back to Nabal. How much is that pretty incredible? But who would call their kid a fool?
Fool.
No, I mean, serious.
Yeah. I don't
Colour,
know.
Murray. There's an advert.
Oh.
Caleb Murray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, like, who would call their kid a fool? I mean, do you ever wonder about that? I'd say not. Okay, it's just me, right?
Yeah, I think it's just you, Sean.
My mind wanders off sometimes wondering, how do they, because I always look up the meaning of names.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
You do too, Kelly?
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered about this sometimes?
A lot.
You're like, what was it after the event? You know what I mean? Was it like, did they say, well, we now called his name Nabal because he's such a fool, so we call him Nabal?
Yeah.
Or did they say, we now call the first king Saul because the people asked, rather than maybe his name was John? I don't know what, okay? But the fact is, but then we see other times where God's moved so providential
Yes.
in those names,
Yeah.
you know?
And
Maybe-
our words are so powerful.
Yeah, maybe the definition of his name was given after Like he was named it, then the definition was given.
I don't know. I mean, I know it's trivial.
Yes.
And I know that to some of us, it could be seen as what's the word?
Irrelevant. Don't really need to know about this kind of stuff. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I just got a bulletin from the Courier Mail.
Oh.
And it says
Breaking
Queensland's desperate plea for more vaccine is rejected
Yeah.
as states is days from running out of Pfizer. I couldn't even
8
get
days ish.
it. Yeah. So Queensland's been denied an urgent request for more Pfizer doses,
Yes.
revealing the state is just days away from running out of it.
Yeah.
It comes as the Premier urges under 40s to ignore the PM's jab advice. So I feel like it could be the federal government going like, we're going to make you have that AstraZeneca and we're not giving you any more. So I don't know. So that's just come in on that latest part just now. So that's the news bulletin. Anyhow, so I'm going to share. So Nabal means fool and insensitive, and David means beloved. And what I learned from David is rash reactions never pay off.
That's it.
And you can be a man of God, a woman of God, but you got to understand that rash reactions always cause problems.
Yes.
And with Nabal, I'd say insensitive mates leave untold heartache.
Yeah.
Insensitive mates leave untold heartache. So I am looking forward to sharing on Sunday, and I am looking forward to ministering the word.
Sunday will happen.
Sunday is on.
Church will happen.
If the lockdown continues, then we'll be live streaming the service. I'll
Yep.
be preaching here. The team will be here, but
Yes.
be nobody inside.
Yes.
So we'll be live streaming it. But
Yes.
if it finishes Friday at 6 o'clock,
Yep.
which I'm hoping,
Yes.
then services are all as normal.
All is normal.
And no matter what, we run the markets.
Yep.
So if, for example, the lockdown continues,
Yep.
we'll just be doing our produces and our food stores.
Yeah.
I mean, food, the
50 cent
dollar shop area. If the market, if the, what do you call
Lockdown
it?
ends on Friday?
ends, then we'll
Normal
be running the
markets.
full things, and we got meat tray giveaways.
Meat tray giveaways. That's
I
right.
have 3 meat trays to give away.
Yeah, you do.
Meat trays about over $100 each.
Yeah.
One meat tray is meat of
Beef,
beef.
like
Yep.
steaks and all that.
Yep, steaks and sausages and all
Yes.
that. And the second meat tray is meat of
Pork? Lamb.
Lamb, very
Lamb.
good. Pull the wool over your eyes. Yep.
Yes.
So that all over there is lamb roast, all those things there. And the final one to all of my friends who have faith.
Lamb.
You already
Pork.
said
Pork. Sorry.
Pork. That's right. Pork.
Yeah.
Pork. Notice I said those who have faith.
Is it because they can't have pork?
That's right. Because the Bible says that to those who are vegetarians, don't judge them, give them a hard time. It's just they lack faith to eat meat. You don't believe it?
Well, I was also reading that in Genesis, we were created not as carnivores, but as herbivores. So
I've never read that.
I was reading it on the Answer of Genesis, and then the fall of man happened, and we had to eat meat, basically.
Was that right?
Yeah.
So we had to eat meat?
Yeah, so then we had to start eating meat.
Well, I figured that before the fall, we didn't have to eat.
Yeah, because it was all provided, that kind of thing. It was all there in the
Fruit
garden.
and trees and that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, it's just an interesting thing altogether.
Yes, I think meat's good for you. I like meat.
Well, I think balance. I
Yeah.
think too much of anything is dangerous.
Yes.
So that's where the problem comes in. Too much of anything.
Yes.
Right? All right, Ed. Well, it is so good being with you, and I'm looking forward to hearing what happens.
Yes.
And it's so good to have people joining in with us today. And I look forward to seeing what comes about. Do you have any predictions? Do you believe that it will be over Friday, 6 o'clock, or do you believe it will continue?
The lockdown will extend, everyone. Brace yourselves. Go to the store, get the toilet paper, get all the food. We'll be locked down for another month, everyone. This is not a warning. We are going to enter into the danger zone.
Sounds like a robot call. Okay. Kelly, do you think that the lockdown will be finished on Friday, 6 o'clock, or do you think it'll continue?
I would hope it would be finished.
No, I'm not
However,
asking what
with
you
the
hope
tri-
for. What do you think?
I think we're going to lock down for longer.
Yes,
Yeah, me too.
I mean, if there was 4 cases, free community, our premier has a heart failure at 1.
Yeah.
So we have to really wait to see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So if tomorrow isn't clearing up, then she normally likes to have a couple of days where there's no cases.
yeah.
But she'll be under pressure by businesses,
Businesses, yep.
and she'll be under pressure because kids.
Yeah.
So-
Well, we do have that thing now. So if we lock down for 2 weeks, the federal government will give us some money.
Yeah.
So,
So-
that's what's probably going to happen, everyone. We're going to get a 2-week extension to get some fat stacks.
I don't know.
COVID bucks.
Harry DeVries says that the rugby union test is on Saturday.
Oh,
So it has to be finished by 6 o'clock so you can go to the test. Because, I mean, we just had State of Origin. They
Yeah.
waited. That was on Sunday.
yes.
And that was 52,000 people, 55,000.
Yeah, yeah.
So, hey, we have a rugby union test on Saturday.
Yeah.
So, hey, when it comes to that, everything's open.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. I know there's dangerous things happening, but I really need to see the game. So
Yeah. I don't know how it works. Anyhow, the important thing is this: put your hope in God.
that's it.
Don't look to the government and don't look to certain key players. Put your hope in God. Pray
God's
for
on
the
the
government.
phone. Yeah.
Whether they be the ones you want or don't want, pray for them. Pray for
Yes.
the Labor. Pray for the Liberal. Pray for the LNP. Pray for independents. Pray for whoever is in power. Just pray. Pray God use them. God touch them. Even if they're unsaved, God can still touch them.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's just pray for our nation.
Yes.
At the same time, in the midst of all the fun and laughter and talk, let's pray for countries that are under severe challenges. And when I read the stats of the United Kingdom and I read of America and India and there's many other nations, you realize that we need to be praying and just asking for God for victory and put people who know God in the right position to be able to lead. That's what I pray.
Yeah, that's it.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, from me, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to seeing you next week.
See you, everyone. See you, everyone. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place.
We are today to talk life at Dunamis.